Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sign1News Live Virtual Chat. Today's show is all about the new book entitled Inside Their Studio, Deaf and Disabled Artists Reshaping the Arts. This is the second book in a project by Ikui Creative that showcases artists from various disability communities, giving us a glimpse into their studios, their inspirations, and their personal journeys. Dancer Antoine Hunter is one of those artists, and we will be chatting with him shortly about this powerful book project. But before we get to our virtual chat, you know what to do. Let us know where you're watching us from so we can give your city, state, or country a virtual shout out. This has been a deadly week for police officers across the country. In Las Vegas, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Bristol, Connecticut, communities are mourning fallen officers. In Las Vegas, in Connecticut, 3 police officers were ambushed in what police say appears to be a calculated attack. 2 of them were killed, and a 3rd officer is recovering in the hospital. In Raleigh, 29-year-old Gabriel Torres was one of 5 people killed by a suspected 15-year-old shooter. Torres was an off-duty police officer on his way to work. And in Las Vegas, Officer Truong Tai died after being shot while responding to a domestic disturbance call. Robbie Coltrane, the actor who played the lovable gamekeeper Hagrid in the Harry Potter films, has died. According to his agent, Coltrane passed away on Friday. No cause of death was given. The role of Hagrid, a half-giant, half-human character, was a natural for Coltrane. He knew and loved Harry Potter books because he read them to his own children. Coltrane's other credits included the James Bond films GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough. Coltrane was 72 years old. According to a new study, more and more young people around the globe under the age of 50 are being diagnosed each year with major cancers. According to a review of 45 countries' cancer registries, early onset cases are rising for 14 types of cancers, many of which affect the digestive system, like kidney, liver, and stomach cancer. Now health experts are trying to figure out what's the cause. The study mentions that better health screening technology could account for part of the upswing. But many health officials say the causes most likely comes down to lifestyle choices, obesity, diets rich in processed foods, smoking, and alcohol consumption, just to name a few. The Major League playoffs, baseball playoffs are underway right now. So baseball fever is ramping up. In New York, the Long Island Bombers are part of a national blind baseball league that competes with teams all over the country. Besides the pitcher, all of the players on the team are legally blind. Players range in age from their 20s all the way up to their 60s. They play beep baseball. The ball and bases all beep, so players rely on their senses of hearing to navigate the field. There's only a first and third base. Each base has a different toned beep. The batter doesn't know which base to run to until after they hit and hear which base beeps. Each outfielder is assigned a number. There's a sighted person who stands in the field and yells out the number based on where the ball is going. That way, the player knows if the ball is coming their way. There are teams all over the country and a World Series. Cool. If you'd like more information on beep baseball, head to nbba.org. Check out the viral video of the week. It is hilarious. This looks like a picture of a black lab named Maverick surrounded by 5 black cats. No, it's actually video of a dog who is frozen in place surrounded by cat decorations in his front yard. Maverick's owner says it was the first time the dog saw the cats and just stopped in his tracks, paralyzed, not moving. After about a minute, Maverick's tail started to wag and he broke out of his trance. The family was cracking up. So were people on social media. The video has been viewed thousands of times. And in case you're wondering, Maverick has seen a cat before. The family has a cat that lives in the house with him. That's funny. Now, my guest tonight is Antoine Hunter. He is an award-winning dancer, producer, actor, poet, and choreographer, and founder and artistic director of Urban Jazz Dance Company, a groundbreaking dance company based in San Francisco that provides opportunities for deaf professional dancers. His story is featured in the new book, Inside Their Studio. Check out this video, courtesy of Seek the World. That is so good. And now, before we introduce our guest, we want to hear from the audience. Let us know where you're watching us from. Hello from Oregon. I'm here at Blood Mountain in Georgia. It's in the north part of the mountains of Georgia, on the Appalachian Trail. Hello, Atlanta. Hello. Atlanta, Illinois. Keep it coming. Tennessee. Oh, from all over. Awesome. Thank you for coming to watch. Canada, Toronto. Hello, Ava. So let me introduce our guest. Hello, Arkansas. Antoine, thank you for joining us today. It's awesome to be here. Thank you for having me. Can you tell us more about the urban jazz dance and what made you decide to start the company? Thank you so much. Actually, Urban Jazz Dance Company is 15 years old. I was not trying to have a dance studio. I taught dance classes. And I have so many different people coming to my class, often hearing and deaf, and I traveled the world and I met many different people who were deaf, and they were saying, I wish we had the opportunity. And so I said, come on, join me. Let's work together and share your stories and your opportunities. The Urban Jazz Dance Company is about raw truth, with signing different languages and share our voice and our truth with the world. Sometimes words don't connect with people, but dancing is different. Ballet, jazz, African. And sometimes we dance about things that are hard to talk about. And I appreciate the art of dance because it's healing. Sometimes people express themselves through dance instead of words. And I love that it's raw. That's good for your soul anyway. It's good for your blood circulation. Everyone should dance every day before they go to sleep or before they go out. It's like soul food when you dance. And we feed each other off of that energy from our soul with movement. That's beautiful. Perfect. So now, so you started teaching. What's your teaching style? That's a really good question. It's a little complicated because I don't have one style. I have many different styles. I started dancing with modern and jazz, but then later in life, I started dancing ballet, very formal. But the point is just to tell your story. So you're teaching technique and choreography and find your voice as a choreographer. I teach all different ages, from young to senior citizen. And what's really interesting, when I teach children, I feel like I'm learning because they're teaching me. They always inspire me. Yesterday, I learned a new story. Sometimes people use dance like a ritual, like yoga. And that applies to my life, you know? My first exposure to dance, I was a 4 or 5 years old. And I grew up kind of poor, and so my dad would stay in a house with a bunch of people, kind of a hippie house, a gathering. Most of them were pagan ritual dances. It's kind of the same thing. And you connect with Mother Earth and feel the vibe. It was really cool. I was exposed to dance very early, so I love that. And I saw somebody made a comment, said that they love dance. It's like a religion. I missed the comment. Yeah, it was a comment from the audience that said they love dance. I think dance is for everyone. It's how you express yourself. To our audience members, if you want to ask a question of Antoine, just let us know. Just put in a comment and we will show it for you. So here's the next really good question. So your company invites both deaf and hard of hearing people, but is your company, can hearing people join your company? Yes. Hearing people can join our company, but it's very important that they understand Black deaf leadership. Don't come and try to take over. This is a safe place for people who are in the deaf culture. And we can learn different stories. I did a performance called Deaf Prison, Deaf Imprisoned. Interviewed a deaf prisoner. And all prisoners are not bad people. He didn't have an interpreter. He got arrested. The cops just put him in jail, and he had no idea why. He had no interpreter during the trial. The police was asking him a bunch of questions, and he had no language access, so he was just nodding his head. And so he said, "You did it, right?" And he wrote it down, he signed it, and he had no access to information. And so he gave me that story. And I changed that into a dance for people to understand better what's happening around the world. And it helped people really wake up. You know, that hashtag woke means you just need to listen with your eyes and your ears and your heart. Yes. We have to find another way to communicate with each other. So we don't want people to come and take over. You can come and you can listen and you can socialize with us and respect each other. I understand, because you're right. Hearing people already have their own platforms, many platforms. Where are our platforms? We're open to sharing, but you have to respect our space. Same with the Black deaf community. And did you see the video? We had Asian people, we had different people from different races. But we have to make sure this is an opportunity for BIPOC people to join. It's really uplifting for the deaf community. Unfortunately, the deaf community has been oppressed because the deaf community has kind of been brainwashed and passed it on down. And so we have to try to change that through dance. It's very interesting when deaf white people come, they really don't say a lot. They just watch. They come to join and they see that it's BIPOC led. I've been doing this for like 15 years. And maybe they don't know. We have the Bay Area International Festival, and BIPOCs from other countries come here and share their stories as well. From Mexico and different countries. And it's very likely that they're not able to dance in their countries. And then they come and share their stories on stage. Oh my gosh, it's so powerful. And they're able to finally get it out and be free. That's mentally healthy. It's like they're reborn again. And they don't want to go back home and just accept the status quo. They get here and realize somebody has heard me, and they say, you saved my life, and we're able to make that connection. When you can't express yourself, finally people are able to interact and really listen to each other. It's a beautiful experience. Also, I believe there are probably different signing styles as well, based on their culture and where they're from. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Okay, so the next question is, can you tell me more about inside their studio? Where did that idea come from? Well, it's really an awesome book. There are so many different artists in this book inside their studio. Deaf and disability artists don't just have one way. It represents their art. We bring together different artists, different practices, different role models, different experiences, different inspirations, different personal journeys, and we put it all out there inside this book. There are like 13 different countries. And I was surprised to see RIT involved and Gallaudet. Canada artist influences are in there as well. This is the second book. And we continue to find more and more artists. There's a person named Aliatha Landry. She's a Black artist, really values inclusion. And she was trying to figure out what to do. But she was brave enough to go ahead and put artists in this book. It wasn't easy. I haven't written a book myself. You should. Thank you. You should write a book about dancing growing up and your life. It was hard for me because I don't know where to start. But she approached me to share my story in the book. And I thank her for that. The book project is from Ikui Creative. You have a fan there with a comment for you. It's sent from poetess Ava Scott. She says, sending from South Carolina, congratulations to Antoine for being in that beautiful book and the Ikui Creative for the second book published. So congratulations. So for all the people who bought the book, you supported BIPOC deaf artists. There are several inside the book. You don't see that very often. Deaf BIPOC inside a book. I'm trying to think about, have I seen that in the past? Around the world? I haven't. It was a very brave project. After I finish vacation, I think I'm going to go order 2 books to see what I missed. They have different sizes as well. So you can find a size that fits you and your budget. Audience, did you see that? They have different sizes. That's pretty cool. I like that. You don't often see that, different sizes for a book. Okay, now I know we've been talking a lot, but I'm wondering, how did the authors of the book locate the talented artists across the country? It was just a tireless effort, looking and communicating with people, meeting people. You know, it's really interesting, you know, when you do phone calls, emails, or virtual chats, you don't get a lot. And so she went there and socialized with them and interacted with them, got involved in the community. Immersion is very important. Immersion with respect. That's a safe place. Yeah, I thank you as hearing people for using your power to uplift the community, but it's nice to meet us halfway. Also on Facebook and the Ikui Creative Instagram, people could go there and share their stories so that it could kind of spread as well. She's just a very beautiful, unique person. I did have the pleasure of going to Atlanta to be on a panel blind rappers were there, and the first thing they made sure that access was provided, because all deaf people and people with disabilities are different. And now you're having me here today, so thank you. So now, after the book was printed, what's been the audience's response with the project? Let me just share my response first. Thank you. Wow. We needed to do this. I had never seen people with disabilities or deaf people, so many in one project. It continues our history, our culture. A lot of people have passed away. And I'm not going to live on this earth forever. But because of this book, my story will live on. And I'm so grateful for that. Many universities now want this book to teach. Because there's a lot of truth in this book. They're not trying to change our words. I have done a deaf interview, and people would try to change to hearing impaired. I was like, no, I'm deaf. So I need you to accept my words and my identity. But the communication in this project was just beautiful. So now that the book is out, how can people buy the book? Through Amazon? Or where can they buy it? You can go online to the website, ikui.com. You can find it there. RIT has it. Gallaudet University has it. And Oglethorpe University has it. I hope it'll be on Amazon. Now, this is my last question. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw the picture there. Oh, that's a beautiful picture. That's a picture of me and Zena performing in Atlanta, Georgia, for the panel. We did a performance, we did interviews, we did people got involved. There was a deafblind rapper there. There was a woman doing poetry. It was a beautiful night. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. All the people in the audience, they got involved with dancing. It was really cool. I'm sure the energy there was amazing. I bet people walked in the room and they just felt normal. That's our world. It's important to see more people like us, like them, together in a safe place. One woman did poetry, and it was the first time she was on the panel. She started talking, and then she started crying. It was overwhelming. Really, the first opportunity to share her story. I was like, wow. I felt this was a very spiritual space. Finally, someone could hear their voice. And now here's my last question, and we'll close here. Well, sorry, I'm still on vacation. How can people learn more about urban jazz dance? And do you have any performances coming up soon? Yes. You can go to the website realurbanjazzdance.com. That's my website. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and our next performance, we're going to Boston, to different schools. And we're also going to other countries. Russia, Africa, and the UK. And you asked me about performances coming up. From today to the 24th, we're setting up. We really enjoy going to different schools, being outside. If you ask us to come, we will try our best to come. We're a very community-based organization. We don't just perform and that's it. We really want to connect to the community. The audience member has a question. Poetess Ava Scott is asking, how did the name Urban Jazz Dance Company come up? Okay, so I love jazz dancing. I was born in Oakland, California. Yeah, that's a home of the Black Panthers. So I was teaching that kind of dance and performing, and I invited my students to join. And so I used my name, Antoine, my sign name. Purple Fire Crew. I danced and we finished. And the person that was hosting the performance looked at it and said, that seems kind of wrong. You're teaching urban jazz dance class. Urban Jazz Dance Company. And while I was on stage, I'm like, that's not our name. But people responded to the performance and they loved it. And when we finished, they said, Urban Jazz Dance Company, cool. And I was like, okay, I think I'll accept it. And that's history. That's how it was born. It was kind of an innocent mistake, but it became your signature. I felt like it was kind of a spiritual calling for me to go on with that name. You got to trust the universe. Exactly. Thank you. You're exactly right. You got to trust the universe. And the spirit moved me. I hope that answered your question. Kelly Billy Latham said, when I was a teenager, about 14 years old, my older brother did not want me to do ballet because I'm deaf, but I can dance. Yes, you can dance, but you know, sometimes You really have to get out there and show it. You got to go to another space to show what you can do. Don't let anyone stop your dreams. Find your own space. Share your own journey and your truth. Bingo. Spiritual call. Do we have any more questions before we move on? So now I feel like I want to dance. I'm in the mountains and kind of feeling the spirit moving. I think I'm about 4,500 elevation up here. Yeah, you don't feel so heavy when you're in the mountains. It's very light. The air is very dry though, so I've been drinking a lot of water, and it's very important if you're in the mountain, always bring water. So any more audience questions? So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much, Antoine, for joining us. You are truly an inspiration. No, thank you. Plus, thank Alietha. Thank you, Alethea. And I hope everybody will go and get this book. The website is www.ikui.com and click on shop. And you'll see the drop down menu to get the different sizes and get the one that you prefer and the style of book that you like. So now it has been wonderful and a pleasure chatting with you. Good luck on your book tour. Keep dancing from your soul. So now let's check in with my Sign1News co-anchor, Christopher D. Johnson. He's in Washington, D.C., attending the 40th anniversary gala for the D.C. area Black Deaf Advocates. Hey, Chris, what's happening tonight? Oh, he's not here. So, anywho, so to the audience, if you want to share some comments while we're waiting for Chris, you can. So we definitely hope that you support disability businesses and buy the book, including me. I'm stuck in the mountains right now, but I'll be back home soon. And I'm going to go buy the book as soon as I get home. Oh, I guess we missed CJ. Maybe we'll see what's up a little later tonight. Again, thank you to my awesome guest, Antoine Hunter, tonight. To you, the viewers, and of course, our loyal app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. As always, we like to end each show with words of inspiration. Words that will hopefully help you dream a little bigger, aim a little higher, and find the courage to be a little bolder. Today's inspirational message comes from relationship expert and personal growth advisor, Barbara DeAngelis. It says, the moment between what you once were and who you are becoming now is where the dance of life really takes place. That's a good quote. Be sure to join us next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for another great live virtual chat at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a wonderful, great weekend, everyone. Stay safe. Good night.